I know Zuckerberg has gotten a lot of pops lately, especially the way he came around about the still dossier and admitting some things were wrong, but it wasn't always that way. Yo, it even went to Trump's inauguration last January, but let me take you back to memory lane.
Zuckerberg, I come in peace.
No, you don't.
I don't want to vote to have to regulate Facebook, but by God, I will. But a lot of that depends on you. I'm a little disappointed in this hearing today. I just don't feel like that we're connecting. So let me try to lay it out for you from my point of view. I think you're a really smart guy.
I agree.
And I think you have built an extraordinary American company. But our promised digital utopia, we have discovered, has minefields. There's some impurities in the Facebook punch bowl, and they got to be fixed. And I think you can fix them.
Oh my gosh.
Now, here's what's going to happen. There are going to be a whole bunch of bills introduced to regulate Facebook. It's up to you whether they pass or not. You can go back home, spend $10 million on lobbyists and fight us, or you can go back home and help us solve this problem. And there are two. One's a privacy problem. The other one is what I call a propaganda problem. Let's start with the privacy problem first. Let's start with the user agreement. Here's what everybody's been trying to tell you today, and I say this gently. Your user agreement sucks. You can spot me 75 IQ points. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. The purpose of that user agreement is to cover Facebook's rear end. It's not to inform your users about their rights. Now, you know that, and I know that. I'm going to suggest to you that you go back home and rewrite it. And tell your $1,200 an hour lawyers, no disrespect, they're good. But tell them you want it written in English, in non-Swahili, so the average American can understand it. That would be a start.
Oh my goodness.
As a Facebook user, are you willing to give me more control over my data?
Senator, as someone who uses Facebook, I believe that you should have complete control over your data.
Okay, you willing to expand my right to know who you're sharing my data with?
Senator, we already give you a list of apps that you're using, and you signed into those yourself and provided affirmative consent.
Right.
As I've said before, we don't share any data
on
with
that user agreement. Are you willing to expand my right to prohibit you from sharing my data?
Senator, again, I believe that you already have that control. So, I think people have that full control in the system already today.
Are you willing to give me the right to take my data on Facebook and move it to another social media platform?
Senator, you can already do that. We have a download your information tool where you can go, get a file of all the content there, and then do whatever you want with it.
Let me be sure I understand. I'm about out of time. Boy, it goes fast, doesn't it? Just in my 12 seconds.
Especially when you're having.
Could somebody call you up and say, I want to see John Kennedy's file?
Absolutely not.
Could you, would you do it? Could you do it?
Of course he can.
In theory.
Do you have the right
You know you can.
to put my data, a name on my data, and share it with somebody?
I do not believe we have the right to do that.
Do you have the ability?
Senator, the data is in the system,
Do
so
you have the ability?
technically I think someone could do that, but that would be a massive breach. So we would never do that.
Yeah.
It would be a breach. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.